Huh? What? Hello? You want to watch chaos? Watch this. My name is Paul. What is your name? Jamie. Hi.
My name's Paul Myhill. Ever since I was a young man, I've been a world traveler. As a kid, I was a fast tracker, plunged headfirst into entrepreneurial ventures. With all the success, I was losing a sense of significance, my place in the world. My first real taste of suffering children came on a visit to Uganda in the 90s. A little girl named Peace, 2 years old, as fragile as balsa wood, was suffering from malaria, had lost her parents to AIDS. My wife and I took turns holding this little girl, wiping her brow, only to learn a couple of weeks later after returning to the United States that she didn't make it. And that little girl has left a lasting impression upon me. A person like little Peace should not have to die simply because she is born in the wrong quadrant of this globe, while we sit idly by chasing our toys, much like I used to do. There's a fair amount of places around the world where we put ourselves in a fair amount of risk. But our compassion for the children and asking the question, well, if not me, who? Who is going to stand in the gap and reach out to be an aid for these children? We're in Chisinau, Moldova right now, the 10th poorest nation in the world and certainly the most impoverished nation in all of Europe. Most people in the United States have never even heard of it. Moldova, known as the trafficking hub of this part of the world, population of a little over 4 million, and by some statistics, 400,000 of its people have been trafficked out.
This is the area where one of the head guys involved in human trafficking lives here, and nobody, police doesn't come this place.
Okay.
Just be careful. The cameras are on both sides of the house, and they see us. Be careful. Those guys are watching. It's a very known criminal area. If you come with a car and you're trying to run away from here, this is the only way. No way to get out of here. If you know so much, these guys would love, or they want to kill you.
Yeah.
Because you know the names, you know a lot of stuff. That's why I call these girls that are really released from human trafficking. They are like submarines. They go deep and they don't say anybody anything if they want to stay alive.
Those guys are living close to this railroad and are having girls transported
from this area. Connects Moldova to Romania, to Ukraine, and to the port in Ukraine on Odessa.
We're standing in one of Istanbul's port areas. Girls from Ukraine, Romania, Moldova, Transnistria are shipped to Turkey into the sex trade here, either as a destination point or as a transit point. The girls are actually put onto containers, and if you can imagine having a 32-hour plus ride in a container to then be let out and to then suffer the exploitation that occurs afterwards. The Turkish mafia basically rented a whole hotel, took these girls to this hotel, impregnated them, and the babies were then taken to have their organs harvested. Can you imagine the depth of depravity that it takes to take a poor child in an orphanage who's already lost their parents or already been abandoned, to then take them to a place of being raped, to then see that same child bear a child and maybe finally feeling like, gosh, I've accomplished something. Here's offspring, you know, of my womb, to only then have that child ripped away to be harvested. When you've got rich people in the Emirates and Turkey and other countries of affluence, and they've got a dying child, they don't care about the child in a poor developing world. All they care about is they want to save the life of their child. They don't care how that heart, how that liver, how that kidney comes. All they care about is their child. And there's men who are willing to facilitate that. It's warped. No one is immune. Women, children, boys, Southeast Asia, Indian subcontinent, Latin America, Eastern Europe. There is nobody that is immune and out of the grip of this evil.
We're in Pattaya, Thailand, an area known for the sex tourism industry. A lot of people come here actually on an official sex tour. You can see one of the tour buses.
Now he's got his hand on bare skin.
It doesn't get more open than this. Hold on, this guy in the suspenders.
Yeah. As we've walked this street here, it feels like a carnival atmosphere. What can only be described as a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh yeah. She was young. She was young.
It's 5 a.m. in Patpong, one of Bangkok's prostitution districts. This bar beside me here has a rather offensive name, but the truth is that everything that goes on this street and many like it in Bangkok is truly offensive.
There's 50 girls at 6 in the morning?
Yes, sir. But now happy hour. Happy hour, the first room.
No photo, no photo. Well, don't have the door open then.
One of the things that really gets to me personally is a lot of these girls have numbers pinned to their chest, where a client would then pick out a girl by a number. They don't have a name, they don't have a history, they don't have a family. They're simply a number. They're a piece of meat to be put on display and chosen for butchering.
It's a little after 7 in the morning, and the girls are still working out on the streets. It's a little early to be working this morning, isn't it?
Yeah, because in the night time police is catching.
In the nighttime, the police are snatching the girls?
Touching.
Oh, touching. They abuse the girls. So you like to work the daytime to avoid the police. Just across the border in northern Thailand, actually in Burma, and the sign behind me pretty much says it all. An exhortation to not sell your children, to not see your children be placed into domestic servitude, to beat and abuse them, and to also see them in a situation of child prostitution or sexual slavery. Imagine being sold into slavery for $10.
ไม่มีความสุขค่ะพ่อแม่ก็ต่างคนต่างแยกกันอยู่
My mother sold me for about 300 baht back in the house, about $10.
The scars run deep, and it takes a loving home to be able to help mend some of those wounds. In a lot of these countries we work in, these kids graduate or age out of these institutional orphanages, often corrupt institutional orphanages, where even the directors will call the traffickers and let them know when certain kids are being released. I'm now involved in a campaign, Traffic Jam. They're seeking to unite musicians and their fans to jam up child trafficking around the world while also jamming to make a difference. We have got a lot of artists that have given us signed instruments as part of this Instruments of Change program. I've got a beautiful guitar here that was donated to us by Dave Matthews. He signed it. He's put some pretty incredible artwork on it here because he believes in this cause, and he believes that this instrument can be an instrument of change. Just a stroke of a pen can break the chains of slavery for a child.
Hello. Wow, hi.
There's few things on this planet that elicit such a passionate response in people than the music they identify with and the causes they identify with, and to marry those together, there's power in that.